the biggest correlator between longevity and health. There's a social component and then a physical component. The physical component is muscle mass, which is why we're called Stacked. And it's one of the many reasons we're called the Stacked Podcast. That's it. You get a little gun share every day. But so the more jacked you are when you're 70, the less likely you are to slip on a bar of soap, or when you're 120, you can do it. And I actually think we're going to solve longevity in the next 20 years, 100%. But what was interesting to me is that if you track muscle mass from 30s, there's a graph that shows that it goes down by a certain decay factor every decade in perpetuity to 120, whatever it is, right? So one of the funny ideas, I was talking about this in London when we did this with a couple of buddies, and we had this idea of actually what you want to do is however jacked you want to be in your life, make sure you hit that in your 30s. So basically, don't leave your 30s thinking, dude, I want to be bigger, or I want to have bigger biceps to reduce your chest. Just reach the level that you'd be like, dude, if I never got a pound of muscle heavier than this, it would be perfect. So you want to maybe go 5 pounds beyond that. And then when you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, you're going to be completely cool. Because maintaining it's one thing, but it's just putting it on slightly different. So that was a kind of not alarm signal for anyone, but yeah, if you want to do it in your 30s, get it done. But I think in many respects, it's the same for everything, right? If you've not done it by the time, in your 30s, it's not that you can't do it. You can do it any time, but it's almost paint the wall to jump off the ladder. Admit that you're not going to do it, or just do the thing.
Very interesting phrase. I don't think I've ever heard that one before. My counterpoint to that is Ronnie Coleman.
How old was he, dude?
Well, he's not 30 anymore, but you should have seen that guy.
Dude, but he had some exogenous supplementation.
Some assistance, huh? Yeah, sure.
I think obviously, you could never work out. You could be 50 years old, go on TRT, and have an incredible physique, of course. But I'm not on about the general trend of. But I guess my TLDR would be act now. Trend, yeah, with a capital N on it. It'd just be act now and make magic happen, basically. So it's cool.
No, I know. I'm just screwing with you, buddy. Ronnie Coleman's obviously an outlier, and he's a freaking 1% bodybuilder. You are 100% right. You should get stacked and jacked.
That's it, man. Jacked by name, stacked by nature. That's what we cover here in the podcast. The other one I'm just pulling up here as well. Brian Johnson's doing a lot of work. He gets a lot of criticism. I'm just looking at right now, actually, some of the stuff he's doing, and he gets a lot of hate because he did Venmo. He was a founder of Venmo.
Yeah, Braintree Venmo, and then he sold.
Isn't that really awesome? And he's got this mission to solve aging, which I think is the coolest mission ever. He gets so much unfair hate on that because one of the interesting points that came back from Claude, again, it's not rocket science, but it said, dude, the single highest leverage variable you have is actually sleep. So the 80-20, the 80% of the 80% is basically lockdown sleep. So that's going to do way more than any other supplement. I've got to get my NAD, blah, blah, blah. I got the little fish oil supplement. Great. But that's a percentile thing compared to sleep, which is the freaking, dude, if you could just lock down sleep. In fact, Nick, let me ask you this. If you could, I can guarantee, I have 2 magic pills, red and blue. One is you're going to have perfect sleep for the rest of your life, guaranteed, fresh, 8-hour, beautiful, the best sleep possible, or I'll give you the best diet possible. You can eat whatever you want to. You've a guaranteed best diet or guaranteed best sleep forever. Which one would you take?
My diet's pretty good. Most definitely sleep. I feel the variance there, it's you can get to 80% very, very easily. But believe it or not, to get to 80% sleep is quite difficult, and very few people will ever do it.
It's tough, especially when you're cracking deals, right? It's very easy when you're Claude coding and it's late and you're I got to get this thing done. And you can easily bleed into the later than you should do. So we're trying to I'm trying to have hard lines of this is the hard line I have to stop. Do you know what I mean?